Hi, this is Brent with Studio One Expert, and in this second video of this free 4-part series with waves, I'm going to be showing you how you can use the waves J37 to create some really rich saturation, harmonics and delay on a virtual bass. So let's take a look at this modo bass and let's have a listen to what it's doing. We'll engage the channel strip, we'll turn everything off, and then we'll look at what the J37 is doing to the sound here. Now, if we just take off everything on the channel strip, there is a really big difference here. So I think that's quite self-explanatory. One of the main things on this channel strip that is giving it that distinctive sound is the J37. Now, the J37 is fantastic for adding that saturation and that analog warmth that we want to bring to our tracks, but it's also really good for this delay feature on the end. And I'm using that here in this slapback mode to give some ambience and depth to this modo bass virtual instrument. So let's have a look at what this preset is doing. We'll engage and bypass, and then I'll talk about the features and why I'm using them. So I'm using the J37 to clean up some of the low end. I'm using it to really drive and push the bass so it has a really distorted and saturated tone. And I'm also using it for, like I said, that delay on the end there to give it some ambience and some depth and some width. I've scooped out a lot of the low end on this channel, and the reason is I have 3 different bass elements in this mix. I have a sub bass, I have this one that we're looking at now, and I also have a Model D. So there is no real need for low end on this track, and that's just going to create masking issues which will not be welcome in our mix. So I've carved out all of the low end on the delay here, high passing all the way to about 100 Hertz. And when I'm driving it, it's actually getting rid of some of the low end because I'm not having the low end present in the delay here. So let's have a look at the various elements. We'll start with a fresh preset, and I'll show you how I got that sound. So I started off by driving the input, and let's have a listen to what that does. So it's already doing quite a bit there to squash the material. I always think that when you use the J37, it also gives some nice glue as well. So there's not really need for as much compression, if any, on this track because there's so much distortion, which is doing soft and hard clipping. So I've actually not got any compression on this track at all. So once I've drove the track, I'm then going to bring the saturation really, really high up. And the reason is the more harmonics I have on this, it's bringing the harmonics out in the high mid frequencies. And that means that this channel is going to be really present because this is the bass channel that I want to be heard the most on this track. So let's have a listen to what that's doing. That's really lovely. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of depth in on this wow and depth right here. I'm going to leave the flutter where it is, and I like the tape speed because I don't want it to make it too degraded. Then the final step that I did was I introduced some of this delay. Now I kept this on the slap mode, and I did turn the delay up quite a bit because I wanted there to be that sort of almost like a springy reverb sound. So let's dial that in and hear how that impacts the track yet again. And lastly, I'm just going to go around again and control some of the high pass and low pass filters that are available in this plugin, meaning that we don't even have to load up another EQ. And there we have it. That's the bass sound that we started with. So let's compare them to finish off this chapter. So I think you'll agree that this is making a huge change to the sound. It's really shaping the way it fits in context with the mix. And in the next chapter, we're going to have a look at how we are getting that chamber spring room sound with the Abbey Road chamber. So hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next video.